president, since day one, has continued to call Mexicans rapists, Hispanics breeders.
First at 5 o'clock, President Trump's impending arrival in El Paso tomorrow. This just days after the weekend's deadly mass shooting. Why he is not receiving the warmest of welcomes. Thank you for joining us at 5. We're going to start this evening in El Paso, where the community clearly still trying to cope with that devastating loss after the weekend's deadly shooting.
Others are voicing their concerns with President Trump expected to make an appearance in the city tomorrow. Our Ken Molestina is there now talking to those who say the president is not welcome.
That seems to be the overwhelming sentiment out here, Gilma. You know, we first got word that he may be coming earlier this week. We heard about it yesterday. Today we know, in fact, that he will be here tomorrow. And again, as you mentioned, a lot of folks out here are saying that they would prefer that he would not come out here to El Paso. The grief here in this city still very raw, and many are in the very early stages of trying to comprehend the kind of carnage that took place here in the first place. Now, it's unlike anything this city has ever had to endure before. When you speak to many of the people here, they're going to tell you that they believe this attack was at least in part motivated by the kind of speech used by the president when referencing immigrants and Hispanic communities. El Paso, of course, has been the center of a lot of immigration debates recently because of its proximity to the border and because the majority of the people who live here are Hispanic. Now, this, quite frankly, is just not President Trump's demographic. We spoke to the mayor and others out here today about the presidential visit tomorrow. Have a listen to what they had to say.
I did not invite him out here. It is his purview and choice. He is the President of the United States. He was elected as President of the United States. I don't know what else to do and say about that, but we will show him El Paso as we are, and that we are special.
No, I don't think that it would be beneficial for the well-being of my community. I don't think that it would enhance our quality of life by having Donald Trump coming.
Now, there is a small support for the president and for the visit tomorrow. I spoke earlier today with a representative from the El Paso County Republican Party. They're expected to send out an official statement later on today. We're still waiting on that, but they told me over the phone, Doug and Gilma, that this is the right thing for the president to do and that they will welcome him here with open arms. He is expected, I'm being told, to make a visit with some of the survivors at one of the local hospitals here tomorrow. Of course, we're going to have more on this throughout the evening and, of course, tonight at 10 o'clock. For now, we're live in El Paso. Ken Molestina, CBS 11 News.
Thank you, Ken. 22 people died in Saturday's mass shooting, and their final moments were marked by love, sacrifice, and heroism. Our Alana Otler is here to share their stories as we remember all the lives lost.
Gilma, that morning, multiple victims were with their spouses, their children, even grandchildren. And in many cases, the very last thing they did was protect their loved ones. The story of Jordan and Andre Anchando has moved the nation. The couple brought along their 2-month-old son on a shopping trip for school supplies. When the gunfire erupted, Jordan shielded the baby. Then Andre jumped in front of his wife. Miraculously, the newborn survived, his only injuries being broken fingers. In all, the Anchandos are survived by 3 children. The parents had just celebrated their first wedding anniversary. Dave Johnson took his 9-year-old granddaughter to Walmart to shop for a birthday gift. The 63-year-old died protecting his granddaughter and his wife Kathy from bullets. Then there's Leo Campos and Maribel Hernandez. The pair dropped off their dog at the groomer before heading to Walmart. Relatives had no idea anything was wrong until the groomer called saying the dog had not been picked up. Family members discovered Campos and Hernandez were at the Walmart by using GPS to track their vehicle. Of course, these stories make up a fraction of the lives lost. 22 victims means there are countless families having been affected by this tragedy.
It is always exponential, is it not? Alana, thank you very much for the highlight. And tonight, so you know, the city of Fort Worth is going to be remembering those lost in the mass shooting. You're welcome to attend if you'd like to. There's going to be a vigil. It will begin in just over an hour at Fort Worth City Hall, right around 6:15 or so, all to honor the victims. And that's where we have Jason Allen in advance of the gathering this evening. Jason?
And Doug, 4 pastors are set to offer prayers out here tonight, including one in Spanish. And I'm told that that is specifically because of that incident that happened in El Paso and some of the victims that were targeted in that case. As you mentioned, it's going to start about an hour from now, just after 6 o'clock, right out here by the flagpoles in front of City Hall. Police Department pipes and drums will open the ceremony and then close with a local musician, Abraham Alexander, singing Amazing Grace. Mayor Betsy Price expected to make some remarks here. She had a conversation with the mayor in El Paso after the shooting, and then this came together together pretty quickly, with Price making an announcement last night. Today is really one of the first days back to business here at City Hall after a break for much of the month of July. So this has been put together between a couple of meetings between city council members tonight. So many city leaders expected to be out here within the next hour. Live in Fort Worth, Jason Allen, CBS 11 News.
Jason, thank you very much. A young El Pasoan is trying to help his community heal after the deadly shooting.
11-year-old Ruben Martinez came up with what he's calling #El Paso Challenge. The idea is that people will complete 22 random acts of kindness, one for each victim who died in the shooting. Ruben's mom says that he was having trouble dealing with the news, so she encouraged him to think of something to make his city better.
Love his idea.
Beautiful sentiment.
Please stay with CBS DFW, both on air and online, of course, for continuing coverage of the El Paso shooting.
And we're going to continue to bring you the most updated information as soon as we get it.